Hi! Poop. Movies about poop. Wow, wow, wow. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. So cool that you would come hang out with me. Oh my god. I hope you're having a lovely night. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to ruin it. So, I guess a lot of people ask me these days, and I figured I would give a little clarification as to what I actually think about disturbing movies. May, what do you actually think about them? See, I have a lot of laughs. I like to watch them, and then have a giggle, and then talk about them, and that is kind of the extent of it for me. It is COVID. You know, you gotta admit that your standards are pretty low for the things that entertain you. I mean, you're watching me.
Boo!
Boo! But I have given it ever so slightly a little bit of thought. And I figured it would probably be wise to sit everybody down and be like, hi, let's talk about all of these things. So without further ado, disturbing movies and my thoughts upon them. I have to go get my notebook. 1 second, I'm gonna have to go get my notebook. Here, come with me. I have to get the notebook.
Oh, you have to get the notebook? You have to... Oh, hey, look, there's God.
Where did I write all my creepy thoughts in a book?
Oh my god.
I found my notes in my creepy book. Let's go back and finish the video now. So, I think it's okay to acknowledge the very real fact that this whole thing of me watching all of these movies and learning about them and then making videos about them was kind of an exercise in any kind of stimulation. It was like a challenge more than anything. It was like, can I handle this? Me. My point, I guess, is that it started as an experiment. But did it end as an experiment? Who's to say? But the number one question that I get about all of this stuff is, has it hurt me? Am I different? No. Or maybe. So, let's say that you're like me, right? And you want to get into watching movies that are very upsetting to see. That's okay, you can do that. There's no shame in that. Listen, I've lived a life of shame. There's no point in any of that. Don't do that. If you like to watch people puke, you get in there. Listen, Lucifer Valentine, I don't know, he could be a creep. Or he's cool, I don't know. But he's not ashamed of what he likes, and that makes him a genuine person. What I've learned most of all, I think, in this entire process is that it's extremely important to have a sense of humor when you delve into this sort of thing. It's kind of like, it is what it is. You know what it's going to be. A lot of the things you're going to see are things that you're not going to like. And as long as they don't push you too far, you typically have a general idea of the kinds of stuff that's in these kinds of movies. And given the fact that a lot of people have made lists about these specific movies and all the different things in them, I feel like most people going into watching like Sallow, for instance, have been warned. You've been warned. Now, if you develop a sense of humor about that, that's kind of up to you. I have a sense of humor about that, but then again, you know, life has not necessarily been so kind to me. So I just laugh through the days. My point is, it's important to find a sense of humor. There's a direct one-to-one comparison between disturbing movies and drugs. Now listen, I know a lot of you out there have no idea what drug is like, and that's okay. Just go with me. I'll be your guide. The most important lesson that drugs teach you is that you kind of have to just go with the flow. You can't fight the current. Whatever's happening yep, that's what's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do, so don't try. There's a lot of things that happen in life that are incredibly uncomfortable, but we're used to them. We're okay with that. We're okay with a little bit of discomfort all the time, but it's all about going with the flow. Like, chill out. You knew what you were getting into. Maybe I'm reading into something. Maybe I'm finding value in something that doesn't have value, but I genuinely believe that watching disturbing movies over the course of my life has made me a better person, even though it has also made me a infinitely weirder person. I've had to think critically about a lot of extreme human behavior, which is not something a lot of people have done. Most people don't have an opinion on cannibalism. I do! So my point is, just go with it. You know what you're getting into. Just chill. Have a sense of humor. Relax. Because if you don't, I don't know if it's gonna work out for you. Kiss your mind goodbye. However, and this is a big however, there is a risk factor with the disturbing movies in the same way that there's a risk factor for drugs. You never ever ever want them to become, you know, copium. Don't use them to cope, because that's not good. You don't want to do that. So if you're using, you know, disturbing movies as a means to disassociate from your regular life, this ain't it, chief. Don't do that. That's bad for your brain. Don't do that. I think that that's sort of where we actually end up in this video, like where we land. The warning that this shit ain't easy on you. Sometimes you do get pushed too far, and also sometimes you end up relying on it in the same way that you rely on a lot of toxic and bad things in your life. While I do believe that disturbing movies sometimes are good and sometimes are very bad, they do carry with them a giant risk that you're gonna just use them to disassociate from things, use violence to disassociate from things. Don't do that. Don't. There's not really much else to say. Just don't do that. That's bad. Because if you've ever seen the movie Videodrome, you know that if you start to disassociate with violence, your chest vagina is gonna have a gun in it and you're gonna pull it out. And anyway, so you really don't want to have to reach in and pull that gun out of your weird chest vagina and go shoot the TV.
Videodrome signal will ultimately produce and control hallucination to the point that it will change human reality.
Don't be James Woods. You know, just normally, but also in Videodrome. I guess I've asked this question a lot. Is any of this actually worth it? Is it ever worth it to make a disturbing movie, or is it literally just childish shock value crap? Hard to say, to be honest with you. I haven't entirely decided. Lars von Trier, right? Sometimes I think he's kind of sophisticated, but sometimes I think he's a child who's just trying to get attention. And maybe riding that line is the thing that makes Lars von Trier interesting, but that doesn't make all disturbing movies interesting. Most of them don't walk that line. Most of them are like, white guy is mad at woman, so he makes really shockingly vile movie about what he wants to do to her, or something like that. That's typically what you're dealing with. In an analytical way, you want to think about the spiritual or political context that these movies fall under, and you think, gosh, what an extreme statement something like Sallow is. They must have really passionately cared about it and wanted to shock people into a level of understanding. It's almost a useful thing. In most situations, you know, the movies aren't necessarily like Sallow. You know, they're not about bad fascists who did actual bad things. They're usually about some guy beats his dog and you have to watch. Hooray for Hollywood.
You will fight me, Mr. Walrus, or you will die!
So I strongly believe that political shock kind of has to be worth it. For every Videodrome out there, there's like 100 not Videodromes that want to be crazy and shocking too, but they don't know why. They don't know why they want to do this. They just kind of want to do it. I feel like that is the immaturity of the genre that makes me very apprehensive to continuing to enjoy it. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of at this place now where I'm wondering, is there even any enjoyment left in doing this, or have I pushed it all the way too far at this point? Have I figured out everything there is to learn? Has this even been worth it to watch these movies? And you know, no, we're already here. We've come this far. I feel like I know so much about way too many vulgar topics. I know a lot about Mary and Dora. Most people don't know about Mary and Dora. Thank God for that. But I know about it. So I guess the question is May making another video talking about fucked up movies one day? Or is May finished? Is May done? Is May gonna hang up the old hat that she's wearing? Sort of put it on the wall. You decide. The choice is yours. To be honest with you, I don't know. I'd watch a movie about puke again one day. If I was bored, Lucifer Valentine like followed me on Twitter or followed me on Instagram or something, that would be hilarious. Oh, he did do that. Well, that's cool. I mean, well, hey, hi. So while you're here, while I got you, why don't you send me your movies so I can watch them for the video? That'd be super cool, because the thing that I hate the most about doing this is having to like track down lower rent bad copies of your movies, Lucifer Valentine. I want to see them in HD. I want your Blu-rays, please. Lucy, please. Anyway, so Lucifer Valentine, send me your movies so I can make another video. And While that video will probably get demonetized and I'll probably lose a bunch of patrons over it, I'm sure it will be worth it. What's this video about? Thank you for watching my stupid video. This video was about disturbing movies. You knew this. You watched it. Thank you. Would you like to subscribe? I bet you would. Well, congrats. Good news. You can do that. There's a button for that. YouTube just added it. It's great. They also added this little bell icon in case the subscribe button doesn't work. And I know that sounds strange. Why would you put a button if the button doesn't work? But that's what the bell's for. Also, consider leaving a like. Every single like is just like a nice little hit of dopamine into my brain. Boy, do I need that these days. Also, the comment section is a great place to leave a comment. Don't leave an essay unless you really want to. I probably will read it if you did leave an essay, but please don't leave an essay. Instead, might I recommend you call me pretty, because I'm very lonely. I yearn for attention. And if you love me, ooh, you can give me $1 on Patreon, and I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna pay rent with it. I love you! Look at you! You're so beautiful. Goodbye!